All right, last night I went to see the most incredible speaker, somebody who I really respect, I really quite adore. His name is Terry O'Reilly, and he is most well known for Under the Influence. It's a podcast that reaches number one repeatedly when he runs it from January to June. It's a fantastic podcast. You got to check it out. But he shared this one particular story, which I thought was just fantastic because for so many people that I coach, they can't understand why they're not, why they're not getting the traction, even though what they're doing creates outstanding results. They have a great process. They've got all this stuff that's doing really well. And he shared this story that I thought, oh my God, this is perfect. So back in the 1970s, Honda was perfectly poised to break into the market. So up until that point, the cars were big, they were V8s, they were gas guzzlers. And then, of course, the 1970s comes along and we have the oil crisis. And that's this point, Honda is perfectly poised to get in the market. They're compact cars, they're very fuel efficient, and they take off like crazy. Honda becomes a very hot selling vehicle. Now, Honda decides that they want to capitalize on this and they think, oh, great. Well, we've got things going with the cars. So, what about if we introduce the motorcycles to the market? And so they bring in this motorcycle and it's a great motorcycle. Everything is, tip top with it. It's the same kind of quality that people are seeing with the cars, but they're not moving. So they bring in a focus study group and they, bring in some avid motorcyclists and, they bring them in, they have them like test the bike out and sit on it and inspect it and they get the feedback and they say, well, what do you think of the design? And they all say, wow, it's great. It's really, top notch. This is fabulous. What do you think of the performance? Oh my God, it's really quite spectacular. I was really impressed. And so everything is really great. And then they ask them, they say, well, would you buy it? And they all say, no, we wouldn't buy it. And Honda's, completely taken aback. It's like, here you have a car that, a motorcycle, sorry, that is better performance, it's better design, it's a great price. All the things are in place, or you would think, but yet they're not buying. So somebody comes up and asks them kind of a counterintuitive question. And the question is, what if oh, sorry, I gotta back it up. So they said, well, if money was no object, what vehicle would you buy? What motorcycle would you buy? And they all said Kawasaki. So they asked, okay, so if Kawasaki was a celebrity, who would that be? And they all were like, ah, John Wayne. That's the image. That's Kawasaki. It's like, it's rough, it's tough. And then they said, okay, well, if Honda was a celebrity, who would you pick? And they came up with Ron Howard from Happy Days, that image of that wholesome, reliable, and immediately they got what the problem was. So the problem was not that the product wasn't good or the price wasn't good. It's that the image and the story that went with the product wasn't working. So Honda started positioning their motorcycles to show the roughness, the ruggedness, and they started positioning it as being an equally tough image to the John Wayne and the Kawasaki's. And of course, Honda started selling and really taking off in the motorcycle area. So this is the same thing for us in business. We can have an outstanding, product, service, whatnot. But if we're not getting this story across in a way that compels people to actually buy, then we're not going to be able to sell. And being able to get that story across is that process of you coming to the place because you're selling you're not selling an item that is somebody else's. Well, possibly you are. But when you're selling you, then you need to get to the place where you're really comfortable in talking about your service, your product, who you are in a way that compels them, a way that creates that story that draws them in. And that's the piece of the inner dominatrix for me of, really being able to shine, stand in the room and have all of that attention on you. And also keep crafting your product, keep crafting your story and telling it over and over again. So it's that combination of mindset and action together that really creates a momentum for your business and your sales. All right. That is your inner dominatrix moment. My name is Dana Ferrand. I am a master healer, life strategist, and former dominatrix. Have a great day.